6 and 7 then. To do these problems, this is related to the gas law, so pressure times volume equals a constant. Okay, so in this case, we want to kind of make sure we understand how we're framing this. This is essentially dy by dx, so dy by dx as we normally would see it. So this would mean that the p is our x and the v is our y. Okay, so if I want to find dv by dp, I want to differentiate the p normally. Okay, so just p I would treat like x. So I'm going to go 1 times v, product rule. So p times v prime, or in this case, dv by dp equals 1000. Okay. So then solving, equals 0, because the derivative of 1000 is 0. Then solving for dv by dp, I get dv by dp times p equals negative v. Solving for dv by dp is equal to negative v over p. Okay, so there's my derivative. Okay, the last one here. Okay, this is a particularly hard problem. Not to initially set up, but the algebra involved in solving this problem is going to be complicated. So first of all, I want to know the points at which the tangent line is horizontal. So there and there. Okay. Well, that involves me finding where the derivative is equal to 0. So I need a derivative. So I'm going to differentiate this. So 3x squared plus 8x plus 1 times y squared plus x times 2y times y prime. There's my product rule. Okay, minus 8y. There's my chain rule. Okay, to generate my y prime. So I'm going to group my y primes and factor. So y prime 2xy minus 8y. I'm going to move everything else to the other side. I've got here 3x squared negative minus 8x minus y squared, and then solve for y prime. Okay, so I've got my derivative. I need to know where this is equal to 0, so I'm going to make it equal to 0 and solve this equation. Now this equation is, I'm going to simplify this equation, okay, because we don't want to make this more complicated than it is. So I'm just going to make the numerator equal to 0 and multiply it by negative. So I'm going to end up with 3x squared plus 8x plus y squared equals 0. I need to solve that equation. The problem is I have two variables, so I need another relationship involving this x and y to solve my system. And there it is. There's my other relationship right there, my original equation. So I'm going to use that to solve my system. I'm looking at this and I see there's a y squared I can factor out and replace that y with. So I'm going to do the algebra for that. So I'm going to just rearrange that. Okay. So I'm going to end up with x cubed plus 4x squared plus y squared x minus 4 equal to 0. I'm going to isolate the y squared, and I think I'm going to factor that. So I factor the negative. Yeah, that's going to be correct. Okay, and then I'm going to divide by x minus 4. So I moved these terms over to that side. Okay, made them negative, factored out the x squared, and divided by x minus 4. There's my substitution for y. So I'm going to then solve my system by substitution. So I'm going to do that over here. So I'm going to get 3x squared plus 8x plus y squared is going to be replaced with negative x squared, x plus 4, divided by x minus 4, equal to 0. Okay, so there's the equation I'm going to solve for x. Well, okay, so I'm going to clear out this denominator by multiplying by x minus 4. So I'm going to end up with x cubed plus 3x cubed plus 3x squared. I'm going to multiply by the negative 4 minus 12x squared minus 32x. Okay, so I multiplied them by x by minus 4. The denominators clears out. And I'm going to have to group like terms. So I'm going to multiply that bracket out. So negative x cubed minus 4x squared equal to 0. Combine my like terms. I get 2x cubed plus 8 minus 12 minus 4 is going to give me minus 8x squared and minus 32x. Okay, equals 0. Factor and solve. Okay, so x is equal to 0 from the 2, although x cannot equal to 0 because if we go back to our derivative here, if I plug in 0, I'm dividing by 0. Okay, so we can eliminate that as a possibility. So I'm going to solve the quadratic part of this. X is equal to positive 4 plus minus 16 minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Solving this, I get 4 plus minus, that's going to be positive 64. Okay, so that's going to be square root 80 over 2. I should simplify that. So I end up with 2 plus minus 2 root 5. Okay, so then I can eliminate, if I take my picture there, definitely not going to be 2 plus 2 root 5. So the x coordinate is going to be 2 minus 2 root 5. Okay, so there it is. That's the x coordinate. To find the y coordinate, I would just plug back into my original expression here. Okay, so that question number 7. I think that's the last one there. That's question number 7. I would expect you to be able to come up with this derivative. The second part of this would be to then figure out how do I solve this equation equal to 0 when my slope is equal to 0. The key is to recognize that there's your other equation that gives you a system of equations.